Well, what a treat. What a blessing it was at the Etihad this weekend. Probably the two best sides in Europe going head to head for the Premier League title, if you like. Many thought it was a decider and it finished 2-2, of course. For me, though, it was a huge missed opportunity for Manchester City. So many people were talking about the quality of the game and the fact that the title race was still on in many ways, all to play for, that I think they didn't really reflect on what it meant for City. City, for me, were the better side. They had the better, if you like, opportunities. When they got into the final third, I don't think they executed well enough. They had a couple of chances they didn't score from, but generally speaking, they won't come up in the score charts or the shots charts, shall I say. But I actually think they could have executed that final ball just a little bit better had they done that. I actually think at times that, especially in the first half, they could have scored another 2 goals at least.
Yeah, I struggle to sort of pick apart Man City because they're so dominant, so brilliant in the way that they play. But I do get what you're saying, and you're so strong on this one that they need that striker, and I get it because you're right. You know, Raheem Sterling he does put away one, which it's another discussion for another time, but he does miss a couple of chances as well, right at the start of the game and a little bit later on, missing out on the Gabriel Jesus making wrong decisions at times. Riyad Mahrez with this cheeky little dink at the end, which was a bit stupid, to be honest. But they do create so many chances. So I struggle to kind of go in too heavy on them. But I guess when you're getting to this game here and you're getting to the Champions League, it's fine margins, isn't it? I think that's the bottom line that you're saying here, is that for this team to go all the way, and we expect them to go all the way in every competition that they're in, they still need to get over the line. And in a game where there's, many variables and it's a low scoring game, it's those moments that could cost you a Champions League or an FA Cup or the Premier League title when it's as tight as it is. And going into this game, do you feel like the fact that they missed the chances that they had, and also, I guess, the fatigue that naturally has to come, look at Bernardo Silva, I think it was 12.5K he ran in that game. Do you think there could be any problems going into this game because of such a classic in terms of the tempo of the game?
I do have a bugbear about it. There could be changes for this game, but I just wanted to point to what I was talking about and why I'm so committed to it. Yes.
He's got paperwork.
I do research sometimes. Listen, all of Manchester City's defeats this season, 1-0 defeat to Spurs, more possession, more shots on target, beaten. 2-0 defeat at Paris Saint-Germain, 18 shots, only 7 on target, more possession. Beaten at home by Palace, 2-0, Crystal Palace. They had more possession, of course they did, more shots on target. 2-1 at RB Leipzig, more possession, more shots, and fewer on target. That's even worse. And then 3-2 defeat at home to Spurs, miles more shots and possession. And of course, they were beaten, and they had 21 shots in that game, 4 on target. Listen, they are brilliant, those forward players at Manchester City. But there is a reason that everyone plays with a striker. There is a reason that goal scorers are there, because they decide the tight games. And those 1 or 2 points, I mean, if you had a great striker in your team, name them, go through them. They bid for one who plays for Spurs last summer. Had they had Harry Kane, for example, how many of those games do they at least not lose, let alone win? And they, for me, leave a lot of points out on the pitch. I'm tired of talking about Manchester City being the better side and not winning the game. Because as far as I'm concerned, if I were a City fan, I'd be disappointed with the draw. That's a game that they should have put to bed, and they could have put the title to bed with it. So let's look ahead to the game. Manchester City taking a slender 1-goal advantage away to Atletico Madrid. And listen, I watched that game, and I've got to say, you can call it Simeone ball if you like. You can say it's got them huge results, a title in Spain last year, of course. But with the players at Atletico Madrid, I mean, what do they think when they come off the training ground? What was all that training for? Who needs to dribble? I mean, who needs to be a great finisher? Honestly, I watched that game and I said, even though they only lost by a goal, I would rather see him let those players loose and have a 4-3 defeat. I mean, just use those players with the talents that they have in a way that is not so negative. Please do it for the game of football. Diego, please. But it might work for them. They might knock out Manchester City against all odds if they get a positive result at home. And then people like me would have to eat their words.
Yeah, Savic was talking about how he was disappointed that they lost the game. He thought they were a bit leggy on their counter-attacks. They said that Griezmann and João Felix had some nice moments going forward. I don't know where his mind was, but they didn't have a shot. End of sentence, guys. They didn't have a shot. So I totally agree with you. I think this kind of behavior in the Champions League is, it kills it. Absolutely kills a game of football. You want two teams to just go at each other. You know, that's like a big reason why I think sometimes we want to see the highest quality football possible, but that quality goes out the window when it turns into a training match. And that's exactly what happened in this game. And as we look forward, I think they're going to have to take the handbrake off a little bit. How much do they take it off and when do they take it off, Hugh?
Their issue is that because of how they play in games like they played against Manchester City, taking the handbrake off isn't easy. You don't just turn a side that played 5-5-0 with every player behind the ball, working for their lives to stop the opposition from scoring. That is all you care about, to a side that then can flip it on its head and become a fluent goal-scoring machine against the best sides in Europe, by the way. It's not that easy a thing to do. And of course, being beaten at the weekend showed that. I know there were changes for Atletico Madrid, but again, a club of their size with the quality of squad that they have, I mean, changing players in and out shouldn't really drastically change your style of football. But again, it's because he's moving back and forth between one and the other, trying to change things. It means it just doesn't really help them. They lost 1-0 against the relegation candidate in Mallorca, who had lost their previous 7 matches. That is probably the worst way that you can warm up to hosting Manchester City, who, by the way, put in a brilliant performance against Liverpool. It's just too negative, and I don't think it helps the players.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, but amazingly, you know, when I talk about that handbrake and taking it off, you look at this game and you go, I don't think that handbrake gets taken off in the first half of this game. I think Simeone goes into this game and goes, let's get to the second half. At the very worst, 1 goal down, and then we'll roll the dice, then give it a bit of a go and see if we can sneak a goal. And I'll tell you what, if they sneak a goal, expect 5-5-0 again, because I think that's enough. It's just about getting over the line. They have completely admitted that they are not the better side here. And you can talk about different styles of play, but this is not trying to win a game. This is trying to not lose a game. That's how Atletico Madrid attempted to play that first game, which I understand. And if you think that's your best opportunity, then so be it. But I agree with you. I think there's so much quality in that team that I think it would be nice to see that little bit more. Antoine Griezmann been directly involved in 67% of Atletico Madrid's goals this season, 4 goals and 2 assists. So there's quality. There's quality on the bench. You got Luis Suarez on that bench as well. But Atletico Madrid, I just can't see them getting anywhere in this. They haven't won in 7 home Champions League games. I don't expect that to change. I think Man City will be very comfortable keeping a hold of the ball. In the second half, I think they'll get that goal. And then I think this will be a bit of a procession, but quite an ugly one, because I think Atletico Madrid, as we saw in the last 20 minutes of the last game, will not be going out without a fight, and not a good fight, an actual fight. Hugh, what do you think is going to happen, mate?
I think Manchester City will win it 1-0 again. I think they'll have too much quality. Ultimately, they keep the ball so well. And I think it's going to be another night of chasing shadows in many ways for Atletico Madrid, putting a wall up in front of their goal and just trying to stop Manchester City from running away with the tie. I don't see where they're going to get their chances from. And I was disappointed by them, so maybe I'm a bit stung by that, but I would be shocked if Manchester City don't go through.
Hi guys, James Allcott here from ESPN's Football Forecast. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video and you want to check out more, make sure you subscribe to ESPN UK.